This is a new kind of teaching for me. I love face-to-face teaching, and I have always taught before face-to-face. I like to talk to people. And we decided to experiment with an entirely online course this summer in Washington semester. We did some research, and I also looked at what I was interested in working on, and we came up with a course called Justice in the Face of Terror. I'm using Blackboard because it worked for me on the main campus when I was teaching 6 classes a semester for getting my syllabus up and for emails after class if there was a question I wanted to get the students thinking about. Discussion boards are the way I'm teaching. It's a traditional syllabus that I've put up for the students, and I've talked to each of them offline via email before they came into the class to explain how the class was being taught. But then what I've done with the discussion board is after they've done their reading and after they've read my lecture, what I do is post 5 questions that I think start them thinking and applying the theories we've been discussing to the issues we're trying to resolve in this course. I tried to practice something that I learned back in law school about shared inquiry, about how do you get people talking, how do you get people so that we're all together trying to push the frontiers of knowledge, trying to analyze what we've read and talked about, trying to synthesize what we've all said. And I've tried to ask questions that would get them all thinking, would get them talking to each other, and which I could, weigh in on. I told them that I would expect 5 significant postings from them a week, 3 on my questions, 2 in response to their classmates, and that at least one of those postings had to be at least a 500-word serious essay that had a, original topic sentence that developed their theme. I told them that I gave them examples of postings that were not acceptable, such as, way to go, I agree, I think that too. That it had to be, anything they posted had to be at least a paragraph in length, had to refer to what they were talking about, had to give support from the texts or from things I'd said in class or the classmates had said in class, and had to be well reasoned. It's a tricky thing evaluating online because you don't want to embarrass people too publicly. In class, it's face-to-face class, it's easy to say, Susan, that's a really good point, but I think what Brian's saying might be more responsive to the question. And it passes because it's oral and people don't have it in print and aren't embarrassed. It's evaluating online, you've got to do it in such a way that everybody in the class knows that what was said needs to be pushed a little further, or might be an incorrect reading of, let's say, Aeschylus's Eumenides. But you've got to say it in a way that the person isn't humiliated and goes off and doesn't come back into the forum. So that's been a trick for me to try to figure out that. And I have gone offline sometimes through email to talk to students about things and said, I liked your posting on the Eumenides, I'm glad you're grappling with that, but let's just talk about the background for a minute. And that way I can provide some guidance without making it public that I think the student either didn't read it or totally misconstrued something. When you turn on the Blackboard page, one of the things I love about it, and I tell the students to check it first, is I can write them messages, everything from encouraging messages saying, I'm missing hearing from you, I know you're working on the midterm, but please stay in touch on these questions, to we have an author coming, please try to read her article first and weigh in on her forum.